You thought it was a setup?
I thought he was finna die.
Me too. I thought it was a setup.
Because this season has been going too well. When that episode popped up, I was like, they about to kill my man Marcus, and I'm gonna be really upset because I really like him. But no, that's not what happened. And what did happen was beautiful.
It was.
You know, if that happened to anyone, it had to be Marcus. But yeah, I love this episode.
Ken, did you rewind a little bit and get weak at the dude? It was like, hell!
I was laughing.
Hell! It was like, is it a nigga? Oh,
yeah, it wasn't hell. It was like, hey, yell. He was going through it for that fence. That fence was whooping his ass.
Kicked his ass. He was probably trying to struggle. He thought I could probably wriggle myself out of this bitch.
Yeah.
He was looking for a black man that day. Unlikely him, they said.
The Frames Per Second podcast.
What's going on? It's your boy Nick. I'm here with Spike Lou of the On Deck TV podcast, Another Week in the Books.
What up, though?
Kenneth Bienge.
Hola.
And Mike Seatown.
Yo.
And you're now tuned into the Frames Per Second podcast. And in this episode, y'all been asking for this. So, of course, we try to listen to y'all and get y'all recommendations in as quickly as we can. But we also, is a show that, you know, it was on our radar anyway. But we are recapping the second season of the FX original series, The Bear. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to pass it on to Lou, because Lou was... have you been on it since day one?
Yeah, I watched it when it came out. I think when they first did it, it was weekly.
Yeah.
Season one?
The first season,
I've been watching it since then. It was fire. It's my shit. I really like the show.
I'm interested in hearing all y'all thoughts, because I haven't heard everyone. I know, Mike, we kind of talked about it a little bit off air as far as just our interest in it. But yeah, Lou, I'm going to just throw it to you.
Let's do it. All right, so we're going over season 2 of The Bear. This is after, of course, season 1. They got the money for the restaurant. Things seem to be going well for Carmen and the crew. First episode is titled Beef. And this is where they're going over the numbers and things of that nature of what they need to get a restaurant a facelift. What were you guys expecting? Nick, I'll start with you. What were you expecting coming into season 2? Like, did you want to see the restaurant up and running, or do you like still being in the nuts and bolts of it?
Well, I was nervous about the series when I saw that all the episodes dropped on Hulu, because, like you mentioned, it was a week-to-week show, first season, and I was like, I thought it got critically acclaimed. I didn't like usually do those the big drops for like shows like we're just trying to clean these off the books, and
it was the highest premiered show in FX history.
FX or Hulu?
FX.
Yeah, I was nervous about the show because I was like, damn, I hope it's not getting canceled or anything soon. But I was also like, shit, I get the whole season at once. That's dope as hell. But after watching it fully, I like, it makes so much sense why they did it.
Yeah, because
trying to do week to week with that, the way the format of how they told this season, it would have been rough.
You think so?
It would have been rough. Because it would have been like how we talked about, kind of similar our gripes with Atlanta a little bit, where it comes with how it's like pieces and not like all together. Like we want to see the crew together and stuff like that, and instead we just get them in all pieces in some episodes. Not to say they were bad episodes, it was just like week to week you didn't know what was you gonna get, and that's kind of like sometimes that's good and sometimes it's bad.
Mike, what do you think?
I think this show would have been perfectly fine being week to week.
Really?
Yes, it's that good to where people would have been fine going week to week. I'm glad they didn't, because I like to binge stuff, but I don't think it would have hurted it at all.
Yeah, give people something to talk about. And I think each episode gave people that. You know, I'm late to the show, so
this
this is my first. Yeah. I kept hearing people talk about it, but it sounded. I didn't know my ignorance. So I was The Bear. What the fuck? This shit sounds stupid.
I was in the same boat. I did the same thing.
Yeah. So, and even when I first started watching it, I was shitting on it early, and then I got on.
What episode got you?
I can't remember, but after the first episode, I was like, okay, I see it, but it was like, this is what people were ranting and raving about. But the more I watched it, the more I started to kind of get into it, because people were saying like it's a comedy, or it's labeled as a comedy on there. And I'm like,
it's labeled as a comedy.
I'm like, what's?
I don't think there's
funny?
anything like
it's
a comedy.
Not.
Drama.
No, it's not a comedy.
But no,
it's
more.
I don't know why they label it that way.
It's a comedy like Succession as a comedy, because they call it Succession a comedy.
Yeah,
too.
but I got hooked. I think I just got hooked in the world and the science of cooking and stuff like that. and everything that was going around with Carmen. So when it ended, and it's just beautiful storytelling. It was like, nah, we're not gonna call it that. We're just gonna call it the bear. I was like, cool. It was my thing was like, you kind of won. Like you got all the money and all of your problems have been solved. So I was kind of scary about season 2.
Like what was season?
Where were they gonna take it? Right.
Yeah, it's like there's what's the hurdle up? And I think they did a good job of getting this thing up and running as the challenge. But I like the struggle.
So, what about you, Mike?
What was the actual question? I'm sorry.
Season 1 versus season 2. Did you appreciate them building, like putting it together, or would you have rather seen the restaurant up and running and more like season 1 where they were dealing with restaurant problems?
I'm good with whatever they give me.
Gotcha.
Because I did not want to watch this either. The first season, I was like, this sounds stupid as shit. I was hooked first episode. I was like, okay, I don't know. And the thing about it is, I was talking to a buddy of mine a couple nights ago. I have no idea why I like this. If anyone asked me what's good about this, I don't know what to tell them.
But to your point, Ken, we see in episode 1 that money problems weren't solved. They still needed more money, so they went to Shady Uncle Jimmy, I think it is his name, to get more money to help build the restaurant out. Did you guys like the plan and them putting everything out in season 1? That's okay. Here's what we're trying to do. We want the restaurant. We got a quick time frame. We still need more money, and if it doesn't work, we're going to lose everything.
It was just
weird. The stakes high?
They told him that we found your money
and didn't give it to him.
And now we need exactly, and didn't even give it to him. It was just like, we need more money, and he just went along with that.
Isn't that the audacity of family though?
Yeah. I think that's what this show is about too. Like you're saying, the audacity of family. Go ahead.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very entitled. Like they think, oh, well, you're my brother. You're supposed
You got
to
it,
help
Unc.
me. You have
like,
to help
Unc,
me.
you got it. Come on.
Okay. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's a white family. Black
That's
family
what I was thinking.
too?
I was thinking too. It's a white. It seems like they're like at least middle class, well off, or like some of the people in the family are well off, better than others. But it was also feel like he's also still very proven at what he does. Like Carmy is like, what I really like is like how they don't hit you over the top with it. They kind of let you ease into like how good of a chef Carmy is.
Like, now, because he don't really talk about it. Right?
He don't really brag about
Everybody
it all the time.
else says it.
He just knows what to say at the right time when it comes to cooking. So I think his uncle's like, bruh, this man went all over the world, learned how to do all this shit, came back and is a 3-star chef or whatever the fuck. It's like, if there's anybody for me to trust in this family, it's him.
I think his uncle was more so like, well, like, at least I'm gonna make my money back if I sell a lot, knock it down.
Yeah, I think that was
his main thing.
But I think
Carmen was clear. I'm not giving you this property, but here's a way for you to get it if we fail.
All right. So that was pretty much it for episode 1. They set a timeline, said they needed more money, said what they wanted to be. And I think one of the interesting things too is that they wanted the stars. Like it couldn't just be a regular restaurant. It had to be like upper echelon, so it wouldn't just be, oh, we can open it tomorrow. They had to have certain factors that they hit. And that also leads into the rest of the staff having to go up their skills. What did you guys think about the story not being as focused on Carm? And you have my man going to Scotland to do the cakes. Marcus go do the cakes. You had them go to culinary school, and you had her learn to be a sous chef. What do you say?
Marcus is from Odd Future. He's not a musician, but he's with that's the gang that he was with.
I did not know that.
He's Lionel. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Lionel.
Is that the reason for the hat?
Yeah, huh?
Is that the reason he rocked the hat? Lionel?
He always had a hat on. Yeah,
Who the fuck is Lionel? He's not like a rapper. Or
No.
He's not like some background guy.
Yeah, he's like their entourage. He's part of the
You can't call him from Odd Future.
He's basically,
That's how they bill it, though.
That's what he is.
Like when I looked him up, I was like, "Who is this guy?" They did
I didn't know that.
throw him with our future.
No one knew that.
Yeah, no. You can look at him and tell him like you're not Jacko or any of them.
But I mean, he's best friends. It's like Taco. Taco wasn't.
Taco's known though.
Yeah, we know Taco.
Nobody knows Lionel.
He was the biggest motherfucker. Oh, okay. I guess you're right.
All right, episode 2, construction hiccups come. They find out they have a mold problem. We find out that Sydney's father is Robert Townsend.
Love that.
I do love that too.
Random, but
I
it
didn't
was
know it was
good.
him until like
Is he
8. Or
is he an
episode 8 or-
underrated?
Shut up, Ken.
I didn't. I'm bad with that anyway. I'm always like, oh, look at Robert Townsend. I was like, that's what that is. He got on, bro.
That's Meteor Man. I knew first.
Is he
Right.
an underrated TV dad?
No.
No,
I didn't
is
like
he a
him.
rated TV dad at all?
Hey,
What?
about, bro? He's rated right where he needs to be, which is not.
Right. Nobody talks about Robert Townsend.
Nobody talks about Parenthood, bro.
Parenthood.
I grew up watching Parenthood.
Of course you did.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No.
Well, Sydney's dad is Robert Townsend. And we found out, was it here or later? I'm not sure. We found out her mom's dead.
That was in the same episode.
Interesting fact that we didn't know all through season 1. I think that was interesting.
Carmen even bring that up. He's like, damn, I didn't even know that.
Right. And she was like, don't do the sorry thing. Was that a twist? Did y'all like that?
I like that they explained how close they were in their relationship. I like seeing like that little scene at the diner, like how they celebrate her mom and how he always, I feel like he does like a new story every year for something that he tries to pull out just to give her more memories and moments with her. I thought that was very special, and it also shows that even though they have a close relationship, she still is like, I'm nervous to even really tell him how much I love what I'm doing because it's not making money. I'm still living with him. It's like, it's, you know, how successful am I? Like, you see the creation of doubt that she has in herself based in that scene.
Well, also, and she fell out of business, right?
Yeah, she tried one before and it didn't work.
You know, so yeah, there's that added on to it as well, and you know, he's the only one that's there. I do like the idea of like it's going to take us this amount of time to get this thing together, but everybody need to up their game, and how committed everyone was, except this one guy, end up in their game. So, but yeah, and you know, Lionel was like, he was into like these sweets and stuff. We got a little bit more information about that, but yeah, I thought that was dope. Like. And I guess they used the money to do that, because that was my whole thing. It's like, y'all motherfuckers, where y'all getting this fucking money from?
Like, to all these people to do all these things, right?
That's what I was thinking.
We also found out that Lionel's mom is sick. I left that out. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
First episode, yeah.
Yeah.
I like how they. I think also Carmy has connections. Like maybe he was able to pull. Some
He did call in some favors.
Yeah,
he called in some favors for those people to do, for cousin to be doing the fork thing, for him to be over there. That was his friend. We seen them on a picture together later. So he probably, it didn't.
Will Porter.
Yeah, so he probably just like bought him flights and that shit. That's it.
I guess.
Before episode 2 ends, we learn about Claire. Claire is an old fling of Carm's from back in the day. Stopping at episode 2 before you got to this, did you guys like the fact or idea, playing with the idea that Carm may have a girlfriend? Like, because we really didn't see him with a love interest in the first season. Was that a good thing to y'all or bad?
I'm familiar with this actor too, because she always playing like the same kind of role.
Yeah, she does.
But honestly, I could care less.
My question is, did y'all think at one point that Carmen and Sid were going to get together?
No.
I did. But I by the end of the first season, I let that go. Because it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. They don't have that type of chemistry anymore. Now they have a brother-sister chemistry.
They do.
And I love their chemistry. If they actually hooked up, it would be whack.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
If she don't go out with Marcus, she cannot go out with fucking Carmen.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that.
And I loved how slow they took their time with Marcus and Sid's thing. Like, it really, like, this is something that just, well,
and we still don't know if it's a thing.
Yeah, we don't know if it's a thing, but we kind of saw how Marcus just kind of started to, yeah, but it wasn't like immediate. Like, they took a damn season and a half.
I knew he liked her at the beginning.
Yeah, that's what
you could tell he liked her.
Their chemistry was there early.
I can't tell if she likes him. I don't.
I didn't pick up on his vibes. I thought it was just kind of.
I think he platonic.
He definitely likes her.
Do you guys think that it adds to the character depth because her mom is dead? It's like that Sid really doesn't have a womanly influence in her life, and that plays out. Like, she's awkward. She's not really nurturing. It seems like she didn't learn those things. And then we learn her mom is dead, and we see how she's dealing with Marcus. I think that's a good character development thing. Did y'all play that out there?
I looked at her mom passing as far as like, I don't know how it really affected her, but I think her awkwardness comes from like, she's really out of the, she's doing like an outlier shit.
She
like,
kind of said it, didn't she?
What?
About why she's awkward.
What did she say?
I'm trying to remember. I thought she kind of explained that she didn't really. That she was kind of withdrawn, shy, or didn't really get along with people.
Her mom not being around since she was 3, I think, would have something to do with it.
I didn't get that either. I just got that she was just awkward.
Yeah,
because her mom died when she was so
3?
young.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would have made it to where she's so. I think I just always took it like she's a young black woman in an industry that's not
usually not young.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
an industry that's usually accepting of those type of folks, or maybe not accepting is the right word, but there's not a lot of young black women in that industry,
especially at the level she's trying to get to.
Exactly.
Like I think there's young black women who are cooks and who have owned their food businesses.
Like a Waffle House.
Yeah, like you said, Waffle House. I'm just saying, but like she's trying.
Patty Mays, but a Michelin star chef.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You ain't hearing a lot of, especially coming from like Chicago area. Like they're trying to make it seem like this is like another.
She's out, not in her place. It's out in her world. That makes sense.
So you like the Clara Carmen thing?
Do I like the what, Carmen?
Clara Carmen.
Yeah, I like that he has a love interest. I mean, we'll get there. I like how it ended too, but yeah, I like how he was being pulled in different directions. He has this extreme fanaticism with cooking, but then he still felt like there was a little something missing. So I liked it.
And he spoke to that when we opened up episode 3 called Sunday. He was in the Alcohol Anonymous meeting. I'm assuming that was.
Is that alcohol? I thought it was because it was like when a family member passes.
It said AI
Oh,
Anonymous.
they got some shit for that?
Yeah, they got a support group.
grief counseling.
Yeah,
but I
grief
thought it
counseling.
was Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah, I
too.
thought he went because his brother was there, and he just went because his brother was there.
That's what I thought. I thought he was
right.
going because of his brother, and he just kept going.
Right.
But I might have missed something.
I thought it was because his brother died, and this is
He
how
was
he
getting
did.
grief, like,
He was
counseling
he was
that
grief
way?
counseling because that's what his sister I thought was
Okay.
mentioned in the first season. Like, are you getting help? Like, how are you coping with all this? Because the only reason why he comes back is after his brother died.
right.
But I think it's the AA
Because
thing.
it's AA.
I thought it was.
He's an alcoholic, or his
No,
His brother
he's not an
was.
alcoholic.
It's just, I think it's a place for him to go, like, that people knew his brother, talk,
Right.
hear stories and stuff that way. But he said something really interesting that I wanted to get you guys' opinion on. He doesn't know how to have fun.
Right. Yep.
Does that make him great as a chef?
I always talk about, and it doesn't make sense when I say it because I said it before. I think I said it a few times. I was like, it's easier to be a good man than a great, or it's easier to be something like that.
You even forgot yourself?
What? A good man and a great man.
Yeah.
He says
Because
it's not gonna make sense when I say it. Well, we see why.
well, it was on the lines of like he sacrificed his going to college,
Relationships
just to be great at something. Like it's harder to be a good man than a great man. That's what I meant to say. Because you see that in the season, like you said, Mike, he's struggling with being happy himself and also fulfilling his dreams. And his uncle was the one that was like, "Nigga, you got to pick one, because this industry is horrendous. Like, I'm telling you this, and I'm putting money into you, knowing that it more likely will fail. But like, you had to pick." And that's why when he told him, he was like, like, you got a girl?
Not
Like,
only his uncle, Sydney would say that. Sydney was kind of, and that's what I wanted to ask you guys too, like, she was kind of alluding to throughout the whole second season, like, I don't really know if I'm feeling you in this Claire thing because it's clearly hindering your focus.
But you see why though? You see why? Because it's hindering his focus. It made him less of a good, not only chef, but a business manager, because he was trying to be happy
he
in
was
his own personal
overlooking
life.
things, yeah.
I think
No,
she was totally
She was hating.
jealous.
She was
Absolutely.
You think she was jealous?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jealous of what? Of his
Because
time?
she doesn't understand relationships.
Because she don't have one?
Because she doesn't have one. And
you
we're
can tell
kind of
by how she
getting the
deal with
impression that she
Marcus.
may have never had one.
Yeah.
I don't think he was fucking up like that. Yeah, he made a couple
was
of
fucking up.
mistakes.
He was fucking up.
He made a couple of mistakes.
But
it didn't-
those things aren't normal for him, though. I think was what she was pointing out.
But I don't think they were that big of a deal to be like, this is fucking with your head. Da, 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 da.
But it's the whole reason why he locked himself in the damn freezer, because
He didn't lock himself in there.
Well,
his
him being off the ball multiple times after being reminded multiple times by Sydney, like, you need to get this done, you need to get this done, caused him to miss one of the biggest nights of
That
his career.
seemed like that could easily have happened whether Claire was there or not, because he was frazzled. He doesn't always seem, he's a great cook, but he doesn't always seem like he's on the ball with other shit.
In that episode, I remember. Remember, the phone call was meant to be for the fridge guy.
And
But
Claire
then Claire
called.
was calling at the same time,
And
and
he
he was
walked
thinking
away from
like,
his phone.
which one do I pick up or which one do I deal with?
And then something else happened, and he went off and did that.
Either one of them.
yeah, he ignored the decision and eventually hit him.
But he never came back and made the call. But I don't know if that's completely attributed to him and Claire.
I thought that was a setup for him to be like, once he was trapped in his own decision or his own consequences, he had to face himself. That's why I was
I think that was all for what eventually happened in the last episode. But I'm totally with Mike. It felt like she was very much jealous.
I don't think from not a romantic jealous though, right?
No.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what- yeah, no,
relationship.
that's what I'm saying. I agree with you on that. I agree with you
I'm
on
saying that she's hating. It seemed like she's like,
you shouldn't be able to do that because I'm not doing
I'm
it.
this focused and I'm this dedicated.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
Why are you not this focused and dedicated? I don't think she really stopped and thought, oh, I think this relationship is going to be a problem. She was like, nah, this isn't the way this works. And I think that's why she's like that with Marcus.
And she even said it. She was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry you're here. And then she had to try to clean that up. She was like, oh, I'm just sorry you're here, have to hear all of this stuff. But she said what she really meant.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, when
she does. It's not even about him and Claire. It's anyone else. Anyone. She's gonna have a problem with it because she thinks if you're in this industry, you're supposed to be married to this cooking shit.
Yeah.
You don't have time for relationships because she clearly has a little bit of a thing for Marcus, but she's like, no, that's not the way this is supposed to work.
I can see it from that angle, but I was also seeing it like she's just awkward and don't know how to have a fucking conversation with somebody she's interested in.
That's too.
And I think he is a little bit better, but not great either.
Yeah, they're all nerds.
He's kind of weird.
They're all awkward nerds.
Yeah, they're all weird.
Yeah.
Off.
All right, 4th episode was called Honeydew. That's too much from the time that it opens. This is when everyone realizes that the sister is pregnant. Natalie. She's pregnant.
Nate.
Who's Nate? Sugar? Is it Sugar?
Sugar, yeah, that's what they call it for that. Also, Sydney starts to hire new employees. Marcus goes over to taste the desserts and do that, and he rescues a man from a bicycle crash. How awkward was that?
You thought it was a setup?
I thought he was finna die.
Me too. I thought it was a setup.
Because this season has been going too well. When that episode popped up, I was like, they about to kill my man Marcus, and I'm gonna be really upset because I really like him. But no, that's not what happened. And what did happen was fucking beautiful.
It was.
You know, if that happened to anyone, it had to be Marcus. But yeah, I love this episode.
Ken, did you rewind a little bit and get weak at the dude? It was like, help!
I was laughing.
Help! It was like,
wasn't like,
is it a nigga? Oh,
yeah, it wasn't help. It was like, hey, yelp. He was going through it for that fence. That fence was whooping his ass.
Kicked his ass.
He was probably trying to struggle. He thought I could probably wriggle myself out of this bitch.
Yeah.
He was looking for a black man that day.
Yeah.
Unlike Liam Neeson.
Yeah, but it was weird how they did it. There was tension there because it was like he was hugging him, and then I thought he was gonna stab him.
I
thought he was gonna do something weird.
Yeah, but I don't know.
That's what I was thinking too. He was gonna stab him.
What y'all think about him learning under that other chef guy? I thought that was really good.
I loved his scene. The actor,
that was really good.
The actor,
Will
Poulter
or
or something like that.
He played in
a lot of shit. I've seen him play in like
We're
the Millers and comedy. He's been mostly in comedies. But now he's doing more like serious shit.
He did a good job at this.
I was just waiting the entire time. I was waiting for him to be a dick.
Yeah.
I was like, at some point he's gonna do something that's fucked up, and he didn't.
Because all the chefs at that point in time have always been like assholes up until that episode.
They're relatively stern. Even with him though, like he's relatively stern, but he just wasn't a dick.
It's just a matter of, it was like I said, it was just going too good. Everything was going too good. So I was like, something has got to be fucked up. And this guy, he had that scrunchy face the whole time. So I just expected he was going to be an asshole, but he never was. He was just really encouraging, like you said, stern, but not in a dick way. And I loved it.
And that's why I really love this season, because I think they changed, like that narrative, Mike, probably would have been like for most second seasons, like continuously showing how ruthless this industry is. But instead it was showing purpose. Because that's what Richie started off asking. He was like, bro, this like, I feel like I have no purpose. I feel like that story he was telling, I was like, that felt like the whole theme of the season. It was like everybody giving their stories about like, this is why I do what I do.
Well, yeah, it was for all of them, because Mark was like, shit, he told his story. He was like, I was working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And, you know.
For football scholarship.
For football scholarship, my shit fucked up. I was walking to McDonald's, and I can't remember exactly how it happened, but he was like, the restaurant.
I've always been eating here, and then I just
they were hiring. They needed a bread maker. They know how to make bread.
And that seems like a totally realistic story.
Right, it was.
I also said I love how everybody has their own Mikey story.
Oh yeah,
that is.
Because he was saying McDonald's is like, it's very much like a production. It's just a fact you don't get a chance to be creative.
Right.
Yeah,
and he got a chance to be creative at that place. So yeah,
that was it for episode 4, Honeydew, pretty much. Episode 5 was Pop. This is Sydney continuing to help Tina with the menu. They expedite permits. They get all the business stuff done. But we finally see Carm, I guess, kind of learn how to have fun. When he goes to the party, he realizes the stuff that he's been missing with Claire. You kind of, for the first time, get to see him let his hair back or whatnot. Did you guys enjoy seeing that side of him, especially since he said he doesn't have fun or doesn't know what that's like?
I felt like as soon as I seen Claire come into the picture, I know it wasn't gonna last.
Really?
Cause it's like, for what he's trying to do, he ain't got the time. He ain't got the time to be messing around with her.
Yes, he does.
He did.
She's a nurse.
He does.
She's a full-on doctor.
But I was seeing how
Right. Like, he's a cook. She's a fucking doctor.
No, I'm saying like he doesn't have the time because of how demanding. Like I like that car. I like the way they told the story. I just didn't really give a fuck more so because I knew the ending. But I'm saying like that car ride scene when he was like, "I'm sure you work all these hours and all this other shit," and like,
yeah, very simple.
you better love it. It seems like you love it. And she flipped it on him, and it was like, "Oh, and this ain't gonna work. Y'all too busy."
No,
You're
But
too
I think that's a
busy.
personal
That's what made it
decision that
say
they
it was
make.
going to work.
They make the personal decision that it's not going to work. I think that's why she was so
Right.
hurt at the end.
She was.
Right.
She
He
was-
made that decision
Yeah.
not to have it work because he could.
Well,
Right.
I mean, off rip, he gave her the fake number, so it wasn't like
Man,
he
that
gave
shit
her.
was fucked
like,
up.
I knew that
It
shit
wasn't
was
like
fake.
they set up this whole story to be like some. They tried to, but you could tell like there was. I love how they showed the reasons why it wasn't going to work based off of him, more so than just seeing it in general.
I don't think they did.
I think that's why she was so hurt at the end though, because she knew that he didn't want to try to make it work.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not just like she gave him the fake number. Oh, excuse me, he gave her the fake number, and that's why she was so adamant on like, why did you give me the fake number?
But that's Carmy though. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I feel like I knew where it was ending because so far, especially how they established his character in the first season.
Carmen was all in.
No, Carmy has always been like he's always been like the shoe was always gonna fall on the other foot. I'm always nervous about shit not being good. He kept on saying in the season like,
Yeah.
she's too good to be true. Like,
But that's why it made it seem like it was gonna work.
No, it felt like he was always gonna find a reason to not make it work because he was always looking for a reason to. That's why when Richie said, "All right, Donna," that hit him because it was like you doing the same shit that your mama always.
That's
did.
the
Wait till we
point,
get to
though.
that.
That's what we're saying. Like, if he wanted this to work,
He could have made it
He
work,
could have
right.
made this work.
He chose.
I know,
not
and I
to
knew
make
he
it.
wasn't.
chose to
But I knew
not.
he wasn't gonna
Choice that he
choose
made.
to make it work.